How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Pale Sky with us. They can say their names and what they do in the band.
Okay, yeah, cool. My name is Ben Davis. I am I write and record all the guitars and bass and drums and stuff. I kind of just started recording music and needed somebody to take it to that next level, so kind of leads us to our next.
Then I got on the tracks and made them all worse.
No, as if.
I'm Quinn, and I scream and sing in Pale Sky. Yeah.
There we go. Well, Quinn is no stranger to this channel. You should go check out Living Machines and Milo Quinn. You know, listen.
Shout out, self-plug.
Plugs for Quinn. You know, I feel like he doesn't have. I feel like I almost always see like 20 projects he's in. So I mean, gotta give it to the man. He's working. You know, shout out.
I'm lucky to have him for sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised you have time for him. Honestly, like I feel like Quinn is just like
that was the biggest surprise to me too.
Yeah, he's like.
Well, I did have to quit Ugly to make time for.
Well,
so
I'm sorry.
Which I also picked up on.
Yeah, and then Ben joined Ugly.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Shout out Ugly.
Shout out Ugly. Oh man, well, you guys hop around and you know, listen, the grind is impressive, you know. So I gotta give shouts. But the first question Quinn knows, so I want to probably ask more so Ben this question is like, I guess more so, how did you guys start Pale Sky? Because I feel like it was I feel like in my head, I'm like, this had to have been in the works at some point, or it might have been just like your just dream to like work with Quinn, or just give me the lowdown, Ben. I need to know, you know, because
yeah, you're not too far off. Like there was definitely a lot leading up to it that Quinn was a part of. It kind of just started with me having all these songs in the bank that I was pretty confident in, and I was looking actively for a vocalist, and Quinn was very involved in helping me find said vocalist and even record said vocalist. And we had a couple people come and go, and eventually at the end of the day, enough time went by where I was just like, I don't even know if I want to do this unless like Quinn wants to do it. And then just luck of the draw, you know, he was slimming down his workload, and I was trying to help him lighten it up a little bit too. So kind of worked out. It was pretty organic, honestly.
Yeah, pretty much it. Like I had tried to produce the vocals for the project, and that fell through. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll just do it, and then we'll see what happens. But it didn't happen like overnight either, because I had so many other things going on that I also put it off for quite a while, because I knew the moment we actually started it, I was just going to go full send in the deep end. So yeah, and then now here we are. Got a couple tracks out and cruising.
Yeah, the tracks, you know, as you know, I feel like I have to listen to this stuff before I had you guys on, and for me, like, you know, obviously knowing Quinn from like Living Machines and obviously having a heavy background, I feel like, you know, his vibe kind of keeps to the same, you know, the same tone, the same, like, I mean, obviously I feel like he kind of goes a little bit harder, you know, which, you know, I appreciate. You know, I feel like he definitely puts a little bit more, like, not to say that he doesn't put heart and soul into Living Machines, but I feel like this, like, I feel like he, you know, you could feel it on your chest, you know, he's really letting it loose. And you know, to kind of hear Ben and to kind of hear Ben's stuff, like, it's, you know, as being a guitar player myself as well, like, I always love focusing on like guitar work and like stuff like that, and that's something that like my mind naturally gravitates towards. And I was like, man, Ben's got some good guitar skills, like good writing skills. And I was just like, you two together just work super well. And obviously I'm not just like pandering to you guys because you're on here, but like if you guys want to send me money, that'd be great. But like I feel like the vibes between you two, like in terms of like the camaraderie, the way that you guys kind of write well together, I think shows in the type of music that has been put out thus far. And whether it was intentional or not, in terms of like that was what you guys were going for, I feel like because Quinn was such a like force in trying to like find a vocalist to do it, and then Quinn's just like, well, I feel like I fit best in doing it maybe, and just kind of took a crack at it. I think it just felt very fluid, and
it was very fluid. Like it was, and everything just happened on its own eventually. You know, it was. We were definitely friends before the process too, and all the beginning of that. So it was, yeah, like you kind of nailed it there with that.
Thank you. And then how do you feel like with you guys having the songs out, like the songs you have out now, like how do you feel like the reception has been? Obviously, since you guys have been in like different projects and you're obviously still in those same projects, like does it give you an outlet to try different things and do different things with this band as opposed to like some of the other bands that you're in? Quinn's in like 70 bands, so I don't honestly know how I honestly just don't know.
Take the torch on that one.
I think for me, contrary to popular belief, I've never actually fronted a band before. So to have the space to really, I mean, scream for the first time in the band. And yeah, I think just that role is something I've never played around with. And in that sense, just as a baseline, it's been super cathartic for me to just have that space to write, scream, and sing and really step into that role and feel that out for the first time. Because I've been doing music for well over a decade. And finally stepping into that has just felt really good. And it does help that Ben's instrumentals are right up my alley. So when we, put these first couple songs together and put them out, like they felt really good. And I've been pretty overwhelmed with how positively we've been received. Like I thought it would be just a couple dudes making some noise, put some songs out. And it's people have been really stoked on them. So definitely put a fire under our asses to keep it rolling.
For real.
Yeah.
And how do you feel, Ben? Like obviously this is like, I feel like a little bit like of your, I would say Quinn obviously has the involvement in it, but like I feel like you obviously wrote like the backbone for it, so I imagine like it must feel it must feel cathartic to also have like your stuff out, especially since I don't know when you started like writing, and since it's been like released now, obviously. I'm sure it's, you know, I feel like when I have old interviews in my inbox and stuff that I'm like, yeah, this is great. It's out. Now I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's already edited. It's done. I'm good, you know, and it feels great. And then I can like feel like I've moved on a little bit and start to maybe like work on new things.
There certainly is a level of that. Like, especially with before Quinn had decided to kind of just take the reins on fronting and writing and stuff like that. It was like I've had these songs for like 2-3 years, just been sitting on the songs for so long, and the amount of changes that have happened through those, like big or small, like I got to a point where I was just like, honestly, like I've beaten these bushes as much as they could possibly be done. So whatever it takes to just get it out there, I'm proud of it, and I'm glad I waited though, honestly, because I always write these songs. Like I'm not the kind of person that writes like 10 songs in a month. Like I very seldom, but it takes me a lot of time. So I do kind of finish a song with full intent on giving it the release it deserves. So I don't know. It feels really good. I'm really surprised with the feedback we've gotten so far. It's been, I don't know, it's just been very humbling. It's inspiring me to do it better and more frequently, and just it's just fueling the gas tank. It's great.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate it.
Yeah, everyone's so great. We just passed 10K on Parasite, which I never thought would happen, like especially so soon. I just, I'm over the moon.
There you go. Well,
small win, but a big win for us. So really,
big time.
Yeah, just rad. It's good. I'm just glad people listen to the music.
No,
that's why we're here.
Because I saw you post. I saw you post about it, and I was like, I first of all, my first initial reaction was how many bands does Quinn in? Because I talked to Bryce. Shout outs to Bryce. Love Bryce.
Shout out Bryce. My boy.
He's like, oh, have you had Quinn on before? And I was like, have I had Quinn on before? And I was just like, he's like, oh, he's got his other project like Milo Quinn. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, I had him on for Living Machines. He's like, oh, you've had him on for Living Machines? I was like, he has more. How many bands does he have? Like, you know, and when I saw you post about Pale Sky, I was just like, I does this person sleep? Like, should I message him? Should I have messaged him like a lot sooner to ask, just like, hey Quinn, are you okay again? Sleep, bud. You know, sleep's important. Sleep's important. Sleep's important for the brain.
Yeah, I've had to like offer to the guy like, hey man, if there's anything I could do to let you know, just let me know. And then sure enough, now I'm playing bass for his brother's band, and I think we're both in like 3 projects now, right?
Yeah, 3. I got Living, Milo, and Pale.
Whew.
Yeah.
And then you're doing. Can you even talk about your other one yet? No.
Not
Okay.
really.
Well,
Not really.
two on the record.
We'll keep it at we'll keep it at Ugly and Pale Sky now. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. We both have a few in the bag. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when I'm gonna have you guys on in like 7,000 different iterations, which is gonna be very interesting. You know, just gonna have like a bunch of different.
We'll
they're gonna be like, "Wow, we saw this guy last week. What is he doing on the channel again?" And he's like, "Oh, this is my like ambient shoegaze deathcore band. I decided
my
that
trash polka
yeah.
fusion side project.
I decided that that was a genre that I haven't tapped into its potential yet. So like, you know, I feel like if I get ahead of the market, you know, I feel like collectively you just have a wall. Like you and Ben both have a wall of like genres, and you're like, which ones haven't I done yet? You know, have I done this one yet? No, you know, we haven't.
Well, we both love so much different kinds of music too.
Yeah,
right?
for real. Like,
it's so hard to just stay with metal. Like I get so sick of listening to metal all the time, and I know Quinn can relate. It's like you kind of
I
have
don't
to
even really listen to metal like at all anymore. Just like
Yeah.
when I'm pissed.
Yeah, straight up.
That's
Honestly.
so true. Like I feel like I don't know. Like I don't think I'll ever like fully leave it because it's my baby. I love metal.
Totally.
That's what got me into it.
Of course.
But like I do like I feel like yeah I kind of step away from it time and time. Like I feel like now I'm getting into like folk music. Like I got into like some Julian Baker, some like Phoebe Bridgers, that sort of shit. That's just like nice and just chill. You put it on and you make sure you just cry. You just cry. No, it's just sad.
When you're
It's only like you put it on immediately. Like I shout out to my girlfriend. We went to like a record store and I found like a Julian Baker record and I was listening to it. And I like as soon as the first song played, I just was immediately like tears were coming out of my eyes to start.
Good
you know,
shit.
so it's shout outs to Julian Baker and Phoebe Bridgers are both great. But I was gonna ask, how do you guys find the time to like, I guess like, obviously get out your creative outlets in the bands that you're in, but like, do you find that you kind of overwork yourself in a way that you feel like you have a lot of projects and you're kind of like doing a bunch of different things? Because I've had bands on where they've had like, oh, I've had like one band that's kind of like my full-time thing, and then I've had like other people that's like, yeah, I work a full-time job, I have 3 different bands. Like it seems like a lot. So you know, how do you guys kind of, I guess, find individual time to like work on the different projects that you're in? Because I could imagine it is quite difficult.
Can be. It depends on. I mean, everybody's got a different kind of like source of income and a different, you know, weekly, monthly schedule.
Sure.
And
yeah.
And stuff like that. Like, I mean, I for one do have a full-time job, and I am in 3 projects technically, but they're because of COVID. I think because of that is the reason I'm able to manage it so calculated and so calmly and whatnot, because nothing's happening really. We're all just working on stuff under the table, like everything's being scheduled and calculated. So in that regard, like, yeah, there have been times where I've felt overwhelmed, but they're always for short stints. Then when that thing is done, then it's like that was worth, you know, preparing, working my ass off for it, because you have to stress out sometimes. It's not healthy to just not get, I don't know, you have to stress.
It like motivates you. I got you.
Healthy stress is good stress.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Quinn's got a bit of a different lifestyle though. You probably want to.
Yeah, I'm addicted to creating.
This guy's
I do it out of
through artist. Yeah, man.
True artist.
But no, Ben's got a great point. Like, I mean, I run my own business, so my schedule is super flexible, and I've been working towards getting it to a place where I have the freedom to create when inspiration strikes for the most part. But that being said, like the older I get, like it was my birthday on Monday, so
Happy
I got
birthday,
like
bud.
1 year left. Thank you. And then I'm
Happy birthday.
stepping into 30 next year.
Oh,
And
I'm right behind you.
yeah, for real. So I've been noticing like the older I get, the more I want to do less, and I really want to hone in on a couple things that tick all my boxes that I can use to express myself when I need to. Like a couple years ago, I was doing living, and I was like, I had my own podcast, and was like, just trying everything. And now that I've tried a bunch of stuff, I've kind of figured out what I like, and I'm actually going to be just reeling it back in and kind of just dialing it back. Like, so yeah, but I mean, I don't see my friends like a whole lot, and I make a lot of time sacrifice to just I spend a lot of my spare time just working on my art because that's what I love doing the most. So I think you can achieve more than you give yourself credit for if you're managing your time constructively.
Oh, I agree. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like for
He's a
myself,
master in time management.
yeah, Quinn. I feel like Quinn seems like that was like the most zen answer I've heard about about managing time.
But for real, like that's
But it is true. It is
Yeah.
true. It wasn't
Crack the code.
it wasn't a dig. Like it was totally like I want to reach that point of zen because I'm usually like, okay, I have to go home. I have to make my dinner. I have to exercise because I sit at my desk.
Oh, man.
Like when I'm at my day job's like sitting at a desk, so I have to exercise so I don't like become on like an episode of like my 600-pound life. And I try not to eat fast food too much. Whenever I can, like I'll enjoy it, but I don't go nuts. And like you were saying, Quinn, I'm 28, so I'm catching up. We're both catching up to the proverbial
that finish line of 20s, baby.
the proverbial 30 years old. And so like I feel like for me, like I want to be able to continue to do this too, like and be at like a good pace of like not where I'm like stressing out about like, oh my god, I have 3 interviews to do today. And I work a 9 to 5 hour job and then like sleep and like doing other stuff, so I find like whenever I have bands on that, or like I work 3 job, like I work 3 like bands and then I have like a day job, it's always like to me like what, like like it's just
I think to that point they do bottleneck sometimes.
That's true.
Like usually they're pretty manageable because you might write for 1 record and then you're done. And then that just sits there, and then you'll figure out a release plan at some point. And then you can kind of pivot over and write music for your next one. But every now and again, it's like all of a sudden you need to figure out a release plan for like 3 different projects, and you're like,
yeah, and then videos and photos.
Oh,
yeah,
promos.
But then now, that's the thing. Like now, it's never been easier to manage 3 bands and full-time job because
all we're doing is writing.
All we're doing is like creating. Right?
All we're doing is at home. Yeah. That's me. That's what I mean. I feel like that's what that. I mean, like that's. People are always like, oh, has your, the what you do been affected? And I'm like, it never really changed. In fact, I was like, I probably got busier now. I was like, I've probably been as busy as I've ever been doing this because people are at home. Bands are recording music. They're not out touring it. They need to promote it. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to hop online and do something like this. And it works. Like, I love doing it, but there's only one of me to go around for like an entire population of bands that constantly release them. So, yes.
We need more Brandon.
Oh, thank you. Listen, we'll go print them at the Brandon factory. I'll make sure to speed up production on the next model, but like
that's true. Like I wrote more music last year than any year I could pick just off the cuff, because it was like, well, we can't play shows and I'm inside, so maybe
and people need an outlet too.
And big time, man.
And it's not like last year was like hey world, we're on spring break, and everyone's like, shit, let's just stay inside. It's like, no, it's a pandemic. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
art is a good way to cope with
And honestly,
hardship,
even like my day job, like I sell guitars. So I mean, and a lot of people ask me like, hey, like how's work been since the pandemic? I'm like, we've never sold more guitars ever. Like now people are so bored, they have nothing to do, they want to pick up the guitars. Now it's like,
so they turn to music.
Busy. We're steady. Like, yeah, it's crazy. It's good. It's cool to see though. It's just awesome to see so many people, even in their 40s, 50s. Like I sell just as many guitars to a first time like male over 50, for example, than I do a kid who's like in their teens.
Yeah,
it's awesome,
and it's great. And like I kind of fall into that category because I bought a bass because I was just like, oh, I should learn how to play bass. I play guitar, so like let me learn how to play bass. So you boy got
bass
that
is
bass.
tight.
What's up, baby?
Bass is super tight. We're both bassists.
Oh,
we are, yeah.
Wait, let me go grab my bass then real quick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna show off our basses now.
Bass picks for the boys.
Fuck yeah, dude! I'm down.
What's up, Ben?
Got my girl
What's going
here.
on? Oh,
hey, baby. Ooh, he's got the Sterling, got the Music Man, the Stingray. That's a beauty.
yes.
Yeah, man, those are amazing basses.
They're so comfy to play.
Yeah, they sound so sick too. Those humbuckers are fat.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Real
no, I love that. I mean,
great taste.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
you know?
great choice.
I was like, man, why didn't I ever pick the bass up before? I was like, I play guitar. They're like sisterly instruments, you know. I feel like,
sure,
you know, I feel like I could learn it, and like, that's it, you know. And it's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing to know that bands are still doing what they do. In fact, like, I feel like it's the bands that I've been having on recently, it's cool to see that they've been honing in on like what they do, like why they want to do it, like why they want to create music, like, and it's great, you know. It's great to kind of like, I guess, have like a reset on your music and like to like really look at it and be like, okay, so like we can't really do much now, like how do we go from here as like an artist? Like, do we try to push for more of the social media stuff, try to like make a community, and like kind of like when things get back to normal and we're able to play shows, then like live show atmosphere is going to be like that much better and stuff. And I've heard like great things.
Our show's going to be sick. When
shows are going to be sick. I want to just
going to be popping
so
off.
insane.
It's going to be madness, and I can't wait.
I am so stoked. Like, I would love to, like, I feel like I would have to, one day, I feel like hopefully soon I'm going to have to make my way out to Vancouver, you know, make the celebrity appearance, you know. I'm kidding. I'm not celebrity. I always joke about this in Vancouver, like bands that I have that are in Vancouver. I always make the joke I'm like I'm a secondhand celebrity. That's what I consider myself. So I feel like, you know, I've had so many Vancouverian bands on here, so like it's great. I love Vancouver. Shout out to Vancouver.
That's amazing.
Shout out to Vancouver. I love all the Vancouver people.
Bless.
But for people who are checking out this interview, because we took a wild tangent off into like the ravine, but we're pulling it back. We're coming back. People who are listening and are like, you know what? I don't know too much about Pale Sky, but I'd like to know more. What out of the songs that you released, or maybe a song coming out soon, would you recommend to a new listener that you feel like would give like the best representation of Pale Sky? Because like I love all of them, so I feel like I would have a complete and utter bias to each one, but I'm curious what your guys' picks are.
I think Quinn and I probably both have a bias.
Wait. I was gonna say, let's count to 3 and we'll just spit one out, and then we'll okay. 3, 2, 1.
Oceania. My God. Nice. I honestly, no, it wasn't.
It was not. It was totally not rehearsed.
Candid.
I'm surprised you said that, Quinn. Actually, for me, like that song was one of the songs that I have the most history with. So it's one of those like just ones that I knew. I wrote it one day. It was a weird ass fucking day. I remember everything that happened, and it was super weird. And it's just the amount of time that I gave that song and the evolution it's gone through. I think it's kind of the one that I'm the most proud of. I mean, obviously some of the songs that have yet to come, I think, have more to offer, but that one just kind of hits close to home for me personally.
Oceania is sweet because, and to Ben's point about like other songs having more, or I would say even just different things to offer.
Of course.
We're kind of experimenting with different formulas and approaches. Like, there's no real clean singing in Parasite, but there are some synthetic vocoder vocals. Whereas Oceania has 3 choruses, clean singing, and it's a bit more accessible that way. And then the next song has no singing whatsoever, and it's just pissed. So
it's dirty.
Yeah, it's really dirty. So we're just kind of having fun and playing around. But Oceania, I think, is a well-rounded take. Like, you could go, oh, okay, it's angry stuff, but every now and again it gets a little somber or melancholy.
It gets a little happy, you know. There's some clean singing. Quinn's not mad, you know. But
just crying instead.
It's a little more diverse.
Rage straight to tears. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I like Oceania a lot. Actually, I think that was the first one. I think that was the first one I listened to actually. Which it just works out super well. I do agree on the accessibility aspect. I feel like people are gonna really vibe with that one, but man, they're all good. I honestly can't. I feel like I can't really put a picture on it, though. You know, I do love when Quinn.
Good problem to have.
I love when Quinn. I love when Quinn goes Brie. No, I'm kidding. That's I don't know if that may not happen. I don't know. I feel like with that. Do you?
The next song?
Oh, is it really?
But it's not me.
Oh.
It's, yeah, we have a feature from our buddy Thor from Planet Killer.
Shout out.
And he's got a nice little.
Okay.
Oh, it is
pretty fun.
Why not? Listen.
Shout out Thor. That guy's such a beauty.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a badass name, so Thor.
He does.
Thor, like the god.
Come on the channel.
Very much so. Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah, you should get Planet Killer on here.
Planet Killer.
100%.
Come on here. I need to continue my laundry list of Vancouver bands. So listen.
Bunch of gems. All those.
Bunch of gems. Yeah, I feel like every Canadian band that I've had on here are all super nice, and I don't fucking understand it. They're all like, "Oh my god, you guys are so great. I love these guys so much." And I'm just like,
you should get our friends on here.
Yeah, you should get our friends on here. And then the US bands were like, "Fuck that bit." No, I'm kidding. No, they're cool. I feel like
I would love to see that happen. That'd be so juicy.
Listen, I feel like
border energy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just US hate energy sometimes, you know. We're not very sometimes I feel like collectively we aren't some of the nicest people, you know. So the only band that I had on, which is actually an interview that unfortunately won't see the light of day, but it's not because of any bad reasons, but I had Arlo Wells on. We recorded an interview and OBS changed the settings, so I didn't record. There got no audio on the receiving end, and we talked for like an hour and a half, and it was fantastic.
Shout out Arlo Wells.
Shout out to Arlo Wells. Come back on again. I love you guys so much, but they are probably like the funniest. They're like a little like I feel like they're a great band. First of all, I want to give them the props, but man, they were pissed. Absolutely. It was great. I loved it. I've never seen Canadian like pissed off energy like that, you know. So I was impressed.
Will,
you know?
Cheer up, dude.
I want to see this. So bad.
Will was good. Will was good. Oh man, they were all like, it was such a funny. I wish I could just like relay this interview to other people, but it was fantastic. Love Arlo Wells. Shout out to Arlo Wells.
We'll have to do a V2.
We are doing V2 eventually. I don't know, whenever they have a certain release to be released at. I'm not here to drop spoilers for other bands, but you know if you know, you know.
Your boys are in the kitchen.
The boys are in the kitchen. Yeah, exactly.
Holy moly.
But you guys can check out all of the singles for Pale Sky. I will leave all of them in the description. Please go check out all of them. I know Oceania is the one that we were pitching the most to you guys, but listen, they're all chef's kiss, you know, fantastic. Bellissimo.
Yeah, and new one out soon.
And new one out soon.
I mean, like, soon.
That's
all you get.
epic soon. Go check it out, guys. Well, listen, if they have a YouTube channel, subscribe, then you won't miss out on new songs that drop. I just saying, so just give me a little pro tip there. But who are you guys influenced by? I feel like Quinn answered this in Living Machines, but I'm more curious from, this band specifically, like who you draw influence from. And Ben, obviously you can give me your influences and like who kind of influenced you to play guitar and like, write a lot of the music for Pale Sky.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, at first, like I started playing guitar, learning like your basic like Metallica, that kind of stuff. Killswitch Engage was a big one. All the Remain. And then once I got into like the periphery, Animals as Leaders world, that's when I started taking my guitar playing chops kind of to the next level and started recording and all this stuff. But in terms of like where I was kind of drawing influence from for Pale Sky, like there was definitely like a lot of Sempiternal, which I didn't even know until after I had written a lot of music. And like Polaris was a big influence. Like a lot of more like newer relevant bands, and I was kind of always looking for like the new sound, seeing what was kind of going on. A lot of like modern, like I'd say 2015 to 2019 kind of hardcore bands I was very heavily influenced by.
You got some Northlane in there for sure.
Definitely some Northlane.
Yeah.
What about you, Quinn? From more of a frontman perspective, because that's probably quite different from your role in Living.
Totally.
Sure.
And like just to be screaming in general too.
Yes.
Definitely Carl Schuback from Misery Signals.
Yeah. Great band.
Probably one of the biggest, I think, influences for me, just now screaming and just as a lyricist in general. Controller is one of the best records of all time. And if you think of Malice and the Magnum Heart is better, you can leave that in the comments so I can not reply to you. Just kidding. They're both amazing albums. I just really connect with Controller.
That's fair.
Neither is better than the other. Carl Schuback for sure. And After the Burial a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But singing wise, I've been feeling like I'm pulling a bit from Chino Marino from the Deftones.
Yeah.
Doing that kind of softer
synthetic vibe kind of too.
Yeah, that like minor key kind of soft bellowing stuff. But probably a mix of those three.
Yeah, no, I would say I know like there's pretty much like I don't want to say like a resurgence, I would say, but like there's definitely a big spot for like bands that have like a progressive like metalcore sound. You figure like Era just put out a fantastic progressive metalcore record recently. Yeah. Probably one of my favorites of this year.
Scorpion,
at least.
slaps.
Scorpion Hymn. Oof.
Scorpion Hymn, yeah, that's so good.
Such a great track. Just that whole record, I feel like, is one that like I've listened to an ungodly amount of times now. And I feel like you guys pull influence from them, which is totally cool.
For sure.
It's like the revival of the early Sumerian records kind of sound. Yeah.
I feel like you guys kind of, I always love asking this question because for me, it's like I always love seeing how close I am to like the types of bands that you're influenced by. And I feel like for me, if I had to pick 3 bands that you guys are kind of like, I would consider you guys associated with, I'd probably say After the Burial definitely has got that like genty, bumpy, like riffy, just lovely vibe. I would say Veil of Maya. I feel like definitely Veil of Maya.
I've heard that before too. I'm surprised.
And I would say Era would probably be the last one. I feel like I know I already said them earlier, but I feel like you definitely take influence from them. And then I'd probably say that's it. I'd say maybe like a little sprinkle of like, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the band Loathe. Got a little bit, little bit, which is tight.
Yeah, which is like the modern approach to that clean
Deftones.
Singing. Yeah, very Deftones.
Very much so.
It's funny because when I marketed the band, running some ads, Veil of Maya, After the Burial, and Era were 3 that I picked to target. So you're actually spot on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, knowledge, baby. Listen,
hat tip there, sir.
Listen,
nicely done.
Listen, I'm just telling you.
It's no coincidence.
It's no coincidence. I totally did not hack into Quinn's computer and pull straight from the noggin, straight from the dome. I've been doing this long enough, so I feel like I'm about like 90% accurate. I get pretty close, unless I like don't know the genre very well. I feel like not to tap myself on the back here, but I feel like
Well,
I feel like
you're the host of a show. You got to know your stuff.
You got to, yeah. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, guys, who are some of the bands you're listening to now, more currently? I'm sure you listen to music on a daily. So who you guys been spinning recently?
I need to look.
Even of like bands. I listen mostly to neoclassical and compositional ambient.
Oh wow!
So
I feel like
Quinn's
Quinn's like this. He's like, oh, I feel like very meditative.
Arnold's.
Just deep in meditation. Oh, that's the lyric. You're a fucking parasite.
Perfect. My chi has aligned. Like, my chakras have aligned. That's
What do you got, Ben?
So yeah, I mean, I've been listening. Like, I really listen to a lot of local bands. Like, I'm still rinsing Spirit Box quite frequently. Carcosa are some homies that I'm listening to a lot. Stasis are some homies that I'm listening to a lot still.
Stasis.
Outside of that circle, like 100 is a band that I listen to a lot.
Yeah.
They're so sick. Oh my god.
Like New 100th?
Yeah, new and old, honestly. I love the evolution. I love the beginning, the end, and everything in between. Like, I love seeing bands change and evolve and grow.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool.
I'm checking. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was pretty much it.
Checking my Spotify to see what actual artists I've listened to. I'm just like pianists.
Quinn has got me into Olaf Arnold's.
Yay!
I've been listening to that a bit. Very just like good ambient, like lo-fi piano, echoey, but smart shit. Like
I've been listening to Kevin Abstract from Brockhampton, his solo stuff.
Oh yeah.
Sampha and Loyal Carner, which are just like a mix of hip hop, R&B, solo artist kind of stuff. But that's kind of it besides ambient.
Also, that new Brockhampton is going to be, I don't know if it's out. I think
it is out. It's on my list. I haven't checked it out yet.
I have to listen to it. Shout outs to Rule from Widmore. He's been sending me that shit. He's like, yo, he's been telling me for years to go check out Brockhampton because they're like heavily influenced by them, and I'm like,
Brockhampton's super cool.
I love Brockhampton though. They're talented AF. So Brockhampton.
If you like Brockhampton, check out Kevin Abstract. He has 2 solo records. What is the one? All American Boyfriend, and I think the other one's Arizona Baby. Yeah, it's his 2 solo records. Super good.
All right, I'm gonna have to check that out. I want to give a shout out to Spirit Box. They're fantastic. Love that band. They should come on. I would love to have Spirit Box on. I've been petitioning hard for Spirit Box to come here to Audio Addiction. So if you want to hear it happen, you want to have them on here, please let them know, because I would be so happy. I feel like that's on my bucket list of bands to have on. Like, I've been a Ride or Die fan for like a hot second, so I would love to have them on. Spirit Box, come on, please. That'd be great. I do like that you guys are listening to like some like real chill music too, because like I feel like I don't always listen to like metal music all the time, which is contrary to popular belief, I know. But I love when I'm like editing and stuff, I'll listen to like the Studio Ghibli like soundtracks and stuff. Oh, beautiful
the
work
soft
tunes.
Piano versions.
Oh
with
yeah,
night sound effects,
Woo,
dude.
You're right. That's what the kids I believe say is fire shit. That's yeah.
I'll have to look this up.
It's
so
great.
Good.
Great movies, great movie series, but just like the music, like
the music's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal as well. I feel like the visuals always get that love, but man, that every time I hear some of those Studio Ghibli songs, I'll be like editing, and I'll be like one tear will roll down my face as I'm like editing. So that's how it'd be hidden. So go check that out if you're into chill stuff. Also, I will recommend one more thing. I'm a big video game fan, so I found out this lo-fi artist called Mikel with Mikel, and
Familiar, actually.
he has done remixes. It's for like different Nintendo video games. So he's done one for Zelda. He's
Yeah,
done one for
I actually
Pokemon.
listened to this one, the Deep Sea N64 like Mario Party one. I listened to
Yeah,
that by Mikel, and it's great.
he's great, fantastic. Shouts Mikel.
Yeah,
I love
straight
that.
up.
I love that stuff. It's great. I picked up the Pokemon one on vinyl, so
Oh,
excuse me, my vinyl
Wow.
collection.
dude,
But
that's so
Your grip
sick.
is out of control.
oh
There it
my
is. There it is.
god!
Yeah.
Whoa!
I would love to find that actually.
I will send you the link, Ben, because I
I would
don't.
actually
I think
appreciate
it's
that.
still
I would
up.
pick that
I
up.
think it's still up, but I don't know. But yeah, he's fantastic. So go check out Mokel. I feel like everybody thinks I just listen to heavy music all the time, and I don't. So
It's a
go
lot of
check
work,
those
man.
out. It's a lot of work. It's tough.
It's a
It's
lot
tough.
of work.
It's tough on them ears. I feel
It's
like
part of the brain. You can only have so much like
Part
whoa,
of the soul, dude. You get tired.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Too
And
much
Quinn-
of anything. is
And
bad
Quinn
for
and
you.
I are almost turning 30, so I feel like that's gonna be like
Exactly.
those damn kids and their music. I feel like that's gonna be us very soon. So
They're the gent riffs. Yeah.
The gent kids.
how many zeros are in this song? Oh man,
Don't
I
look
can-
at our tabs.
yeah. Don't.
No, yeah, please. People say I'm a good guitar player, but please don't look at my tabs.
You're writing code here. Lots of zeros and ones, Ben.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a binary code. Oh man.
Oh, fuck, that's awesome.
But yes, go check out all those bands. Go check out Brockhampton. I feel like I don't give them enough love here on the channel, but they're fantastic. But the next question, guys, a fun one. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Oh, I know mine would.
Okay, I got mine. Ben, you go first.
Okay, I would do Jetpacks Was Yes by Fear.
Ooh, yeah,
That'd be so fucking sick.
that's a banger.
That's hot fire.
I would want to do Lost in the Static by After the Burial. That would be a lot of fun.
Oh, that would be so
Just
live.
a fight track. Yeah.
That'd be so fun live. Holy shit.
Plant that seed, water it a little bit, Ben.
Salt Bay that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jetpacks
Man.
is Yes is cool though. That's a great song.
I love
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
classic for me for sure.
I was talking about it in like an interview I did recently, and I was saying how much like I forgot how great that EP is. Like the first EP that they did, oh, Icarus Lives, man, they got
Yeah.
all
that
all
EP
the
got me into like it set the bar for me.
I never actually liked Spencer Sotelo voice when I first got into Periphery, so I would always listen to P1 instrumentally, and then I
Nice.
realized I was just sleepwalking through life, and now I super love Spencer Sotelo as a vocalist. So
It's changed a lot though from
Yeah.
He's
Totally,
quite
totally.
an evolution for sure.
P2 is where it really hit, and I think P3 is just this magnum opus, just like
B3 is
one
a
of their
master.
best. It's a masterwork for sure.
I feel like I don't know. I'm a big P2 fan. I think that's the one that had the most staying power with me. 3 is great too. I did like the Alpha and Omega series. I felt like that was pretty interesting, and that is a lot of material. So like, in and of itself, that's incredible. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, yeah.
They're
I
they're
remember
one of the
when
best.
when that came out, this car I drove, I could only play CDs in, and I only had the Alpha and Omega CDs, and I got to know those two albums really well.
Yeah.
But they were great. I loved them. But it got to a point where each album felt like 10 minutes. It was just like-
Oh man.
There's
Well.
something for everyone in that band though, which is good.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of like I don't know. I feel like over the years that they've kind of like evolved and they've really learned about their music, like the different members that are obviously in their band and stuff. Like I think that they pull a lot of influence from each other, and like each album feels completely, I wouldn't say completely different, but definitely feels different in each aspect. I think they try to push themselves just like a little bit further to the edge each
I want
time.
to do with like Pale Sky even too. Like I don't really want there to be a ton of consistency. Like it's always got to be fun to do. And I draw a ton of inspiration from Quinn. the songs that I'm gonna write in the future aren't gonna be with the same demeanor as the songs that I wrote before.
Yeah, and like now that I kind of know what you write, I might go into a part differently, and like we start to feed off each other, knowing that we are the two that are writing the material.
I think it's important, really important to really inspire, your bandmates, and we definitely do that.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and also the fact that you guys are lovers, I think that also kind of just plays.
That's one of the things
for life, like penguins. I picked Ben, and that was it. Like I had to call off my wedding and everything. It was wild.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe, but Pale Sky, he had the egg, and I'm a penguin, so I can't.
Wow, baby.
Yeah, he brought me a lucky rock, and that was it.
Yeah. Facts. Big facts, guys. I'm glad this is on. I'm glad this is on the internet. Quinn's girlfriend's gonna be like, "What's going on, man? What? Why did you tell me this?"
Man. Sorry, Claire.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Claire and Sydney. Sorry, I had to find out like this.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to be the the breaker of the silence.
How dare you?
I'm gonna get hate mail, and they're gonna be like, "Listen, you can never be a semi-celebrity in Vancouver now." So.
No, that's gonna boost your status. There's gonna be all this hype around this whole situation.
I feel like I'm gonna be I'm gonna be on the same level as the royal family. I want to have that type of just messed up shit. About just Vancouver. So
yeah, dude.
Shouts to Vancouver. Love you guys. Next question. If you guys have any recommendations for Pale Sky, drop them in the comments. I'm sure they'll check it out. Who knows? They might do a cover of a song that you suggested. So, very cool. Next question, guys. Obviously, you're on here for musical purposes, but I always love asking this question. I don't think I asked this to Quinn yet, so I feel like I'm going to give him with the shock value here. But I don't really believe in guilty pleasures, but there are certain bands that people wouldn't necessarily associate you with. Are there any bands that you would like to?
Boy.
Really?
Oh
okay.
Yeah.
You're really hardcore into them.
Love the shit out of that band.
Are you old school? Are you old school Fall Out Boy? Or
old school Fall Out Boy. Okay, and I also really just got into the new Harry Styles record, and I absolutely love that album. So those are my two. Enjoy the internet.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Rip on me.
So ready for that.
He was on point. Quinn's like, well, I welcome this. Come on, bring it on.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely agree in the sense that I don't really believe in guilty pleasures. If I was embarrassed to listen to something that I thought was really good, then how good do I think it is? I don't know if that makes sense.
Or you know what I
mean?
Or
I got you,
man. To whatever because it's music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Except
man.
Tiesto, we don't do that. Bro, I like Tiesto. Said no one seriously ever.
Yeah, no.
Some person that's just high as fuck at a rave. Oh my God, is that Tiesto? I love him. He's the best.
I think if I were to pick one, I would say maybe Midway State. They're like a Canadian kind of alternative band with a really sappy love song that I was really into, and I still kind of do like it. But shit, yeah, I don't know. I'm so open to listening to any kind of music now, especially with my girlfriend Claire and stuff. We try to keep it as broad as possible. And, that's a tough one.
I'm a diehard Coheed fan, which virtually most people who know me know. But a lot of people outside of my circle who don't really know Coheed usually are taken back by that.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
They that one band who did the rock band song on Welcome Home or whatever. And that's it. And most people hate Claudio's voice.
It's great.
I love that band so much.
They're god tier, man.
If it wasn't for the pandemic last year, I would have seen them live every single year for 4 years in a row. It's the only band that I go that hard for. So, but it's not guilty pleasure because Living Machines is basically Coheed 2.0. So
kinda, yeah.
in its own way.
I want you to get. I want to get a cease and desist from Coheed. So,
Hey,
well,
hey Claudio.
just a little, like a little bit.
Listen,
Not exactly the same, but like kind of in the same ballpark.
inspired by.
It's like as if like they were on the same train, but like sitting in completely different seats. But no, I feel like I would have never picked you for a Coheed fan. So that is very cool. I love
big
Coheed.
dragonfly tattoo, dude. Children of the fence, like do or die, man.
Yeah, I remember finding out about Coheed. It wasn't from Rock Band, which big sad. I like obviously knew them. I obviously knew that song was on Rock Band, but like I believe it was obviously Welcome Home. That was the first song I listened to by them, and then I went back and just listened to like the rest of their stuff. But I want to say, I don't know if it was it was definitely in a movie. Like, and I was just like, who is
the
this
movie
band?
9?
It was 9. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Welcome Home was one of the songs used for the trailer.
Yeah, and I was like, who is this band?
So I heard. I could be wrong.
I think
yeah.
Quinn was just like waiting. Quinn was like waiting for me to just be like, I think it's this.
Firing.
He was waiting for me to say the wrong answer. He's like, well, actually, it was actually in this trailer in this movie that came out in 2000 whatever year. You're wrong.
That's me.
You're wrong on the internet. But it was now that my brain is starting to fire on all cylinders, I believe you are correct, and it was 9. And I was like, who is this band? They're sick. Let me go check them out. So then I typed them into Google. I was like, what band is on number 9 trailer? And then it was like Coheed and Cambria, and I was like, oh shit, I should go listen to them. And then I went and listened to them, and I just like love their discography. And fantastic band. I feel like I still feel like they're relatively, like, I don't want to say unheard of, because there's definitely, especially within this
niche.
But I feel like they're pretty niche. Band. Yeah, I feel like people like, if people like know them, like they know them, but like I feel like you could either be like a very like, I feel like they're the type of band that you could be a very superficial band, like all of their, like, Welcome Home, like their hits and stuff. And then there's definitely
Rock Band was sick.
And then Rock Band was sick, man. I love that song. And then you have people that are like really in the core of Coheed. There's no like middle ground. You're either like a hyper fan, or you're like, I know that one song from Rock Band, and that's it.
Pretty much.
There's no middle ground.
No.
Which is great. So shout outs to Quinn being a Coheed fan. You can go ask him all of the Coheed questions in the comments. I'm sure he'll be able to answer all, if not most of them.
Like test me. Like,
test him. Test his knowledge.
Why not? Stacking.
Next question, guys. If you were to have a collaborative choice on your next record, having a guest feature, who would you want to feature on a new Pale Sky record, album, song, whatever? Oh,
my boy, go.
Oh, hold up. I have that. Well, I want to get Carl Schuback on a song.
Carl,
hold up.
Oh, now we can't hear Brandon.
Oh,
you can't hear me?
Back. I can.
Oh,
hear
there we go. I heard that.
And hence. All right, we're back. Yeah, I would love to get Carl Schuback on a track. That's my dream vocal feat.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I'd be about that. Yeah.
What about you, Bean?
I've been thinking about it a lot. Like, we've been asked this a couple times before, and it's a hard one. Like, right now, I think, like, even actually Courtney LaPlante from Spirit Box would be a fucking cool feature. I also really think Marcus Bridge would be sick.
Oh.
Yup.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just so many badasses out there. I don't know. Carl Schuback would be obviously God tier. Like, that would be great. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with those.
I like these. I like these choices. I feel a little bit of a kinship to Courtney. I feel like I'd love to hear her. I love hearing any feature she does. She's just like a ripping vocalist. But I feel like Carl would be really cool. I think that, like, since I've heard all 3 singles now, I feel like Carl I feel like it might be the outlier choice, you know? I feel like it would be something that I think people wouldn't expect, really, you know?
I guess my one apprehension is that our vocals may sound a bit similar. So it's like, it could happen, and people might be like, yo, so like, where was Carl? Because
True,
we both
actually.
do a
That's
very
true.
we do like a lower mid power fry style vocal.
Yeah.
So yeah, but hey, who knows? We'll do the classic thing where we like break away and open the floor, and he steps into the track. You know, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, if you want to hear Marcus Bridge, Carl Schubacher, Cornelius Plant on a Pale Sky track, you have to go into twitter.com, or you have to hit the Twitter app on your phone, because we know we all download it, and then you have to tag all of these people, including Pale Sky, of course. That's the most important one. And
We
then
don't have Twitter, so you could just tag them. And be
you
like,
just
go
tag
check
them.
out this
and
Instagram.
go check out this Instagram. Go
Yeah.
tag them, and then say collab ? And then I feel like that's a legally binding contract, you know, online.
Basically.
You know?
True.
So Pale then well, actually, so we'll circle it back to the first thing. So you have to bully Pale Sky into getting a Twitter, and then they have a Twitter, so then you can tag them in this post that you're gonna make about a collab thing, and then you put collab ? And then, you know, listen, you might as well just be signing that shit with a pen, because that's legal. That's some legal shit there. I think I've heard, you know, allegedly.
I don't make the laws, man.
I don't make
If
the
that's
laws.
what it takes, then hey, sign me up.
Listen, that's what I think. You know, I you know, listen, I don't make the rules here on the internet, but that's what I believe to be true. So, like, you know, and everything on the internet's true. So I feel like that's, you know, I feel like I'm in my right to say that.
Exactly.
Yeah? So
Yeah.
if you want to make that happen, you got to do that, and then you can hear this amazing collaboration with like 3 vocalists. Like, who doesn't want that? I do. Here, I'll raise my hand. I want that shit. Let's do it. Internet, get on it. Next question, guys. My personal favorite, because I'm a nerd and I like asking it. I know I asked Quinn this, so I'm curious if he's either A, going to pick the same answer, or if he's going to pick something different. But if you could be a video game character, who would you be?
Picked 3 last time, but I'll just straight up double down on Rook.
You
from
did.
Banner
You
Saga.
did pick 3. That is correct. Yeah, you did
So
double.
I'm just gonna I'll refine my answer to just Rook from the Banner Saga.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of like, I don't play a ton of video games, but I'm trying to think of somebody that doesn't go through a lot of shit, like a lot of hard
That's
shit,
fair. Yeah.
Boring
and
game,
someone
dude.
that and, and someone that can fly. Those are like the 2 things I'm trying to think
So
of.
Minecraft.
Can I be the entire intellectual property body of Minecraft, please?
No. Shit, I don't know. You know what? He's kind of badass. Ridley from Samus. Like, that guy's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's the
A
space.
little bit chaotic, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, he can fly. He looks
That's
like a
like-
badass.
it's like
Shoots lasers out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's a chaotic neutral choice. I like it, you know.
Yeah.
I respect
I'm
the
about it.
move.
I'm about it.
Listen, you're a space pirate now, so I you know, I salute
Go.
you. You know.
Thank you.
Great choices. I'm glad that Quinn doubled down. I'm first of all impressed Quinn remembered his 3 answers, and that he doubled down on Rook. That's
Yeah, it was Rook, Gordon Freeman
I believe
from
you're correct.
Half-Life. Oh, no. I can't remember what the third one was I picked.
Oh man.
Either way, Rook's the only one that matters.
Anyway, we're gonna go to past Brandon with a flat. No, I'm kidding. I should do like a flashback video in black and white and be like, "This is his actual answers." Go watch that interview too.
Please post that.
That'd be
Give
awesome.
me, give me 1 penny for that video that you just. Awesome choices. I do. You know, listen. I feel like I like Ben's choice because, you know, listen, who doesn't want to be like Ridley? I mean, I feel like that's just wild. You know, it's a chaotic choice, but, you know, listen, it takes a real man of skill to pick Ridley. So, vibes.
Cheers.
Next question, guys. If if you were to compile a dream tour lineup with Pale Sky on it, who would be on it?
Cool, like with Architects.
Nice.
Who else?
Kublai Khan would be super fun, even though
Ooh.
we're not kind of
And that
We're kinda
hardcore.
we're not totally actually hardcore. We're more in the metalcore
Yeah.
scope, but
It's okay though. They seem like nice guys, you know?
Yeah, big time. I think for me personally, I would go like Polaris and Architects.
Okay, so
that's
we
pretty
got
sweet, Bill.
so we got Polaris and Architects. You want to add another one, Quinn, and we'll call it I'll call it a time here.
Yeah. Well, Kublai Khan, if that was a thing, but after the burial, for sure.
That's some
'Cause that's right in the pocket.
that's a
Meatball.
that's a smoking tour. I feel like all the hot dads would be at that tour.
Hot dads only. Dude.
Hot dads
Hot dads only.
Hot dads. Oh boy. I feel
Your
like
Berks
that.
and your spatulas.
They're gonna be grilling up.
Sandals and your cargo shorts.
They're gonna be grill.
Yeah.
This tour is gonna be grilling up some riffs. Plenty of riffs. You
Man,
got
it'd be
some.
Riff City, man.
That's gonna be Riff City. Yeah. You'll have some riffs with cheese on it. You
Yeah.
got some riffs. You got some overcooked riffs. You got some undercooked riffs.
Burn.
All the riffs here. I feel like I should be like the tour announcer, you know?
Oh, 100%. Next up.
Next up, we got this Australian band called Polaris. I thought that was an ATV company.
Everyone
my.
in the show is just like, who the hell is this guy?
Get him off the stage.
Yeah.
He's doing a horrible Tony Soprano impression. I feel like, you know, again, I'm from New Jersey, so I have to completely derail my whole state entirely. So, shout outs to New Jersey. But I would love to see that tour. So again, first step, you have to bully Pale Sky into making a Twitter, and then secondly, you have to have After the Burial, Kublai Khan, Polaris, Architects, and Pale Sky. Tag them all. Then you put tour ? Again, legally binding contract. I didn't say, you know, listen. It's not verbatim, but like could
Basically.
you know, basically, you know, they're basically signing that contract at that point, you know. So
Yeah.
So make it happen. If you'd love to see that happen, listen, I would love to see that happen. So if you want to make me happy, you do that shit. Okay? Cool.
We'll sell one ticket. It'll be for you.
Yes!
That's it.
Woo! That's all we need. And then I'll be like, guys, why aren't you here? This is a great tour. What's wrong with all of you? Especially the Pale Sky guys. They're the sickest, so you should come out to see them. Next question, guys. Another fun question. If you were to compile a musical supergroup, who would be in your band?
Okay, so Matt Garcia, I think his name is, from Animals as Leaders, for drummer for
Garska.
sure.
I believe it
Garska?
is Garska. Yes.
Matt Gartzka, yeah.
Matt Gardska, him for sure on drums. Guitar player, Jacob Umansky on bass. Sweet.
I like that.
Guitar player, I'm going for Jake Bowen from Periphery. Would be cool.
Okay.
He's like, I feel like he's like the rhythm fucking frame for kind of Periphery songs sometimes. Howard Jones. Howard fucking Jones.
Hey.
Let's go.
Also, dear internet, if you haven't listened to the Howard Jones Jaren Dines collab Scion the Blade, fuck. That is
I'm
hot heat.
just gonna take that one clip and then you're just like, have you listened to this song? Fuck. And then just like have like an echo to it, you know. It's gonna go wild.
Yeah, Howard's back, baby.
Yeah, I love
That'd
Howard.
be sick.
I like that, Ben. That was super tight. I'm about it.
Yeah.
I would want Nick, the drummer from Northlane,
Mm.
Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit on guitar, because that would already just be super fun.
Vibes.
For bass, probably Nolly. Just throw like a really proficient bass player to lock it all down.
Yeah.
He's dad. He's the bass dad.
He is
Oh,
bass
yeah.
dad. Yeah.
And,
He's a part of the hot dad clubs. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hotdadclub.com. Nolly.
Yeah.
He's there. Vocals though, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, like Beating It, but Carl Schuback. Give my man some shit to rip over.
Yeah, these are vibes.
It would be interesting to hear him scream over Wes Borland's riffs.
Yeah, I was thinking
Because,
that.
like, why not? Who knows?
It'd be dirty.
And then, like, have Nick on drums, which is just, like, he does, like, a bunch
so
of
you'd
shit.
have the prog rhythm section, and then you'd have this, like, new metal, melodic hardcore fronting half. It could be fun.
Be very
I don't know if you
interesting.
guys ever heard these before, but back in the day, we may have even spoken about it last time we chatted, but it was Roadrunner Records did the All Stars album, and they
Yeah,
took a
we
bunch
did.
of members from different bands, and they had them all just like rotate through a room, and then they would just take different members of different bands and put them in a room together, and they'd have to write a song.
Interesting. That sounds really cool.
Roadrunner United, the All Star Sessions. You should totally check it out, Ben.
Cool.
Howard Jones is on there, dude from Deicide.
Yes, you're right.
Joey Jordanson, like
Joey
a bunch
Jordison,
of different
yeah.
dudes. Yeah.
It was pretty mental.
I'm about that. That sounds cool. I was a big fan of like when Sumerian kind of did a thing with like a Florence and the Machine record, but they did Florence and the Sphinx or something. So like, each song from the Florence record was covered by a Sumerian band. I thought that was pretty rad.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I do. I remember that. That was actually really cool. I feel like
Sweet.
I feel like labels should do that more, you know? I feel like they have the ability to do that. So, that would listen. Quinn's choice, Ben's choice, both fine choices. So, I would agree. I feel a slight bias cuz I love Howard Jones. He's one of my favorite vocalists, and, you know, no one can deny the power of As Daylight Dies. That is metalcore perfection.
He can command an army with his voice.
I mean, listen, My Curse comes on, you know, you boy be out here swinging his arms around in the air.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the shit, you know. If you know, Guitar Hero 3, that's the vibes. That bonus track, dog, you know the vibes. If you know that, salutes to you. But next question, guys. If you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one record you could bring with you to listen to, what would it be?
For a month.
1 month, yeah. I feel like it's not of all time, so I feel like you have your options, you know?
What was that? Thinking of like a Devin Townsend project album, I think I could rip for. Sorry, Devin, if you're watching this, I forgot the name of this really important album.
I'm sure he'd be okay.
I didn't think it was Empath. I thought it was a different one. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with Bilo by David Maximicic. I think that's a really like. Every time I hear that record, I hear something new, and that's like kind of something. You need something interesting for a month straight.
I like that.
Good choice.
Great choice.
That'd
Yeah.
be the one I pick. Yeah.
I think I picked Hammock last time,
You did, I believe.
but
Roll the clip. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Actually, you can see here that what he did last time.
Let's go to the footage.
Probably Transitions, which is like a 3-part record by Fabrizio Paterlini. I've been really digging that one lately. Just like super, super chill solo piano arrangements.
Very
But
cool.
that's in like 3 records long, basically.
Yeah, it's Transitions 1, 2, and 3.
I would see that's a good hack because then you have more material to rinse through in a month.
Wow.
Why pick one if you can pick three, Ben? That's just these are
straight
the
up.
questions we should be asking.
God
That's
damn it.
true. You're right. I feel like Quinn just Ty Lopez that shit. You
He's
know.
ready to go, man. This guy's on his toes all the
Yeah.
God.
And second to last thing, guys. I've been asking a lot of bands this because I feel like you guys are sick, and I already know you guys are sick, but I feel like people need to, I guess, hear it from you per se. What do you want people to take away from Pale Sky, whether it be from like a musical aspect of it, and also a lyrical aspect of it, or a combination of the two? I feel like with bands, it's always cool to hear it directly from the source, like why people should check out your music. And I know it sounds very like I need to talk about myself kind of a thing. Feels very like out of character, I would say, slightly for like artists. Not, I wouldn't say like in a prideful way, but you gotta know people gotta know.
Bands.
Yeah, people gotta know that like you mean your shit. So this is the time right now.
I would say, I don't know, there's so like I said before, there's so much music out there right now. It's kind of hard to digest a lot of it. I feel like there's a lot of bands that are just trying to get complicated and just trying to one up other bands and whatnot. But we're definitely I'm not trying to feed you with like random nuances. It's just kind of like I just want it to be very digestible to anybody who likes heavy music. And I don't know, it's got its place. I think it's very digestible. I just think I dial back the gears a little bit for the sense that it's want to be good songs. Take it how you will.
The composition.
Yeah, like if you have an itch that needs to be scratched because you want a new band, but you are being delivered what feels like the new with some hat nods to the old, we definitely, I think, bridge the gap. And lyrically, like, it's just me getting pissed off about a lot of stuff. Like,
that's fair.
Real stuff.
So like,
real shit.
I'm not this dystopian nihilistic mad boy, but the lyrics are just kind of addressing a lot of the world writ large. So if you want a place to come and I don't know, at least be immersed in some of the darker parts of our society, then this is the space we've made for that. So
I mean, that's why it's called Pale Sky. I feel like,
totally,
kind of paints a picture. And like I feel like with a lot of the projects that, I mean, I've obviously spoken with you about like Living Machines, but it's cool to see like comparatively between the two different projects of like, where you lyrically go and stuff like that. And I know like Living Machines is just a little bit like, if you're really dedicated to that shit, like it's like a Coheed fan, like you're gonna love Living Machines because it's so like on brand for like a Coheed fan, or like somebody who's like really into like just like really intense shit, like having kind of like, I would say kind of akin to like people who like comics. And I know you release like art in an art form too as well in that aspect, but like, it feels kind of like a storyline. And this one just feels like, okay, like there's a lot of bad shit going on. Let me talk about it. Or not, well, talk about it is a very loose term. It's basically very, very loose. We're using words loosely. Yeah,
wants to write about it.
Yeah, right about it. And so like, it's cool to hear from that aspect too, because like there is a lot of shit going on, and like it's important for people to kind of be aware of those things. And I think you guys do it in a good way that feels like definitely angry tinged, but like in a digestible way, so it doesn't feel like it's just like you suck, I hate you, but also you guys are Canadian. I feel like that's not part of your vocabulary, but but
you
yeah,
suck. I'm sorry.
oh
Fuck you, just kidding.
but like yeah, like I mean, I feel like you guys are able to use this as an outlet to do things. And I think the really impressive thing is that, again, this project, how it is, I think it's just really cool to see especially you, Quinn, because I've known you longer, like to see you kind of branch out and do the vocals and take on that mantle, because you know it's comparatively to the Living Machine stuff, it's just like I feel like you are hitting your stride, and Ben, like obviously just met Ben, but like the guitar work is on point, you know. Definitely from one guitarist to another, I think, you know, you're definitely writing some sick shit. And
Appreciate that.
and so like for me it was cool to kind of obviously know Quinn and be able to give him compliments on that, but it's also real cool to like meet you, Ben, and like to also give you compliments on your shit too. But like, you know, but yeah, I think it's just like a good mix of like being angry, but for like all the right reasons, you know?
Yeah. Like I just want to open up the door for the discourse on a lot of what, and like some people might say, oh, you're just being negative or whatever, but you don't have to be very versed in anything in particular to see that there are cracks in society.
I would agree.
Undoubtedly. So if we can create a space for people to feel and like release that frustration, but even get talking about it, then that's perfect.
Yeah, my cat saw me moshing to Oceana earlier today, and I feel like he is now asleep on my bed. So I feel like, you know, he saw enough.
Way too pitted.
He saw my.
Oh, we're all cat dads now. Ben joined the cat dad family too.
Oh yeah.
My cat. I would wake my cat up, but he has been a pain in the
king.
He's been a pain in the ass. So,
Just getting some lights going on.
I thought you were just gonna grab my.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna get up and grab the cat. It's gonna be show and tell. But the last thing, guys. Well, first of all, thank you for saying that. Like, you know, I do feel like, you know, you guys did a great job of what's released so far, and I'm excited to see what is coming out next. I just really want to hear that heavy fucking track. You know, I'm waiting.
I'll send it to you after this call.
I'm waiting. You know, so very
slide you the lead.
I'll slide into them DMs, the hot dad's DM. But tell the people about Pale Sky, where they can find you on social media, what you guys kind of have coming up in the docket, and anything else you would like to plug, talk about, things of that nature.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram, our handle is just Pale Sky Sounds. We have a YouTube that we put up now. And new single around the corner. We have some other material we've written, and merch drop, ? Coming up, maybe a little merch drop.
Yeah.
A little merch drop for the internet. But yeah, bunch of everything. It's a good pitch.
That was a great pitch. One of the best, I think, on this channel.
Perfect.
You know,
I tapped out. I couldn't go.
You really hit that high register. You know, listen, if that, you know, guys, if you think that Quinn's got a great range, and he just showed it off right now. So, you know, listen, if you like that, right here, you heard it here first. So, go check out Pale Sky. Lovely human beings and very talented musicians, so go give them some love. All of the links are in the description where you can find out about Pale Sky. I'll leave links to all 3 singles. Go give them all a listen, especially that Bree track when it comes out. You know, I'm gonna be dropping that in the description too. You know, you want that heavy shit.
This is the Bree track.
The Bree track, but like, go check it out. Seriously, like if you're into like some of the shit that's going on in current events and stuff, as well as just some dang riffy music, go give them some love. And if you enjoyed this interview, share, like, and subscribe. Remember to bully Pale Sky into making a Twitter account so we can make sure that all of this shit happens in terms of collaborations. More specifically, you know, we need to get Carl on a, you know, Pale Sky track. That I feel like we've been talking about Carl a lot, and Carl, I know you watch my content, you know, I appreciate you so much. I mean, like, listen, you want to come on, Carl? That'd be dope. But, like, also, you should go collaborate with Pale Sky, and then you should come on, because that would be, like, twofold, you know? I feel like I would have won the internet, you know? I would have quit.
That would be some real hotdads.com.
That would be some real hotdads.com. So make sure that happens. And if you watch this whole thing, make sure to comment hot dads in the comments, so I know you watched the whole thing. Because otherwise, How would you know? Only the hot dads know. So, thank you to Pale Sky for coming on and talking about their music.
Thanks for having us, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, a big shout out for thanks Brandon and Audio Addiction Media. You guys appreciate this a lot.
Shout out hot dads.